I definitely think you're going to love it. And feel like people are gonna walk away too with a greater revelation of God, because so many people have these questions like what you're asking. And I feel like, no, not because it's me, but what better person that took time, like you said, my own experience. I really taught from my own perspective in this book, and then from people around me. So you're getting multiple perspectives, right? Of just the goodness of God, the mercy of God.
Hello, everyone. I go by Waves, and I'm here with SongLab Live. And I'm very excited to announce that we will be interviewing with Lakithia, a powerhouse of a voice advocating for women all around the world. And she is here to discuss her latest book with us, The Power of Partnering with God, Becoming Your Best Self.
Mhm.
Lakithia, I'm very excited to meet you. And I'm really looking forward to learning a little bit more about you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. So you've been described as a rising voice in faith-driven innovation and wellness. What does innovation in faith and wellness look like to you?
I guess it's about, I mean, innovating in the sense of leading. For me, it's leading in what I say. I live by that. That's the innovation part. So it's not something that I'm just portraying in front of you, in front of the camera, but I lead in that lifestyle publicly and privately. And then as far as wellness, I am really, 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 really big on health and wellness and taking care of myself, taking care of my temple. And I'm very, very mindful of what I put in my body and very disciplined, with the way that I take care of myself, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a
Mhm,
lot of sense. I love that. That's huge.
mhm. Thank
Um, and you've been a radio host, a talk show creator, an influencer. How do those experiences shape your voice as an author and as an advocate?
Yeah, so with hosting and you talked about the radio show and the talk show are two different shows. But I initially started writing the book before the shows. So the shows came years later. So I started writing the book in 2015. Yeah, initially, and in 2016. And then I got the first show in 2020, and then iHeartRadio show in Manhattan in 2024. So by that time, I've already been, talking and speaking with people. So I would say that having those shows, obviously, for me, because before I came from Los Angeles, I was not as talkative. I can remember I told you that, I live between LA and New York, and New York has given me a voice that I did not have before. So it even changes the tone of the book, because I started the book in 2015, and then by 2020, that's when I got back to I got to New York, and then that tone, kind of changed because of the way that being in New York has actually transformed me in a lot of ways.
Interesting. Okay, I like
Mhm.
that. During that transitional period, so the book was in the making at that time.
Yeah.
Were there any experiences or anything that maybe contributed to the book after the fact?
Yeah. So initially I started the book, it was about you see where it says becoming your best self. So that's still the foundation, but it was about self-love, heavily self-love. But now it's gone even deeper. And what I've recognized and what I've seen in this time period of writing this book within this 10-year frame is that I've grown and became more of who I'm supposed to be. And that was because I partnered with God. And I have to, just that is like the foundation of who I am, and it is just literally transformed my entire life from the inside out, partnering with God.
I love that.
Mhm.
Awesome. So, well, I mean, why not get right into it? What personal experiences or revelations inspired you to write The Power of Partnering with God?
Yeah, so like I said initially, not writing it from the power of partnering, but it evolved into that, just with even looking over that time span of 2015 to 2025, and it's like, wow, this is where I'm seeing growth, I'm seeing transformation, I'm seeing evolution, I'm seeing myself literally becoming my best self. I'm looking at the way that I'm taking care of myself. I started the book At the time I started the book, I was not vegan. I started the book very much so like I had like kind of leaned myself away from meats, but not a vegan, right? Not in 2016 at least. And so in 2017, I became a vegan. And then by 2020, I moved more so into the realm of plant-based, 2021, plant-based. And then now I've been doing raw. And so, but that evolution of transforming like health and wellness, really becoming my best self, disciplining myself to eating foods that nourish my temple. Just evolving and thinking maturity, I think is so important, and then the discipline. One of the things I tell people about why they need this book is that I wrote this book also from a perspective where you we have so many people, we make these goals and we never achieve them. So I talk about that, like executing your goals, not just having these new year resolutions. Okay, we get those resolutions going by December, January, and then by February it's over. No, this book helps you execute those goals. You execute them, have the discipline to stay consistent, remain focused. So if you set out to, achieve it, you can, accomplish it through that discipline and self control. And so those are the things that I really put into the book because I myself, like I said, discipline, very self control, very stern on executing whatever goal that it is that I set out to accomplish and achieve. So that's why I believe that readers definitely need this book. If you've been struggling in those areas of execution, no longer, because this book is going to definitely lay that foundation for you to begin to start accomplishing, achieving, and executing your goals.
I love that so
Mhm.
much. I
Thank
It
you.
sounds like you've been putting that into practice, which is so
Mhm.
important, especially because you've been
Yeah.
on this journey since 2015 is when
Mhm.
started this. And
Yeah.
throughout that time, being a vegan takes a lot of discipline. And to be
Yeah.
consistent with it, that's like a
Yeah.
decade right there. That's
Yeah.
very admirable.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Very, very, very cool. I'm gonna have to get the book myself.
I recommend it. We talk about, I talk about everything from healing, wholeness, and like I said, becoming your best self. Literally just even, relationships and toxicity, and and I'm not talking about partner, just like, oh, like a boyfriend girlfriend. I'm talking about friendship relationships, like business relationships. You have to learn to separate, and things like that. So, and this is just so that readers can have an understanding that this book is like full of everything you need, literally, because I lived it in this 10-year period. So it had to include all of those things. And one of the things I've been telling people is that God is concerned about all of us, the entire us, as in the sense of wholeness. So he's concerned with our relationships. He's concerned with the foods that we're eating. He's concerned with those goals that we're setting out to accomplish, but we're not accomplishing those things. He's concerned with, our partners and our friendships and our business relationships. He's concerned with us healing and becoming our best self, letting go of like trauma that we may have experienced from our childhood or through relationships, right? He's concerned with all of those things. And that's why you partner with him, so that he can help you navigate and get through whatever it is that you need to get through to become your best self.
That's amazing. That's
Mhm,
amazing. I
mhm,
like that. Question for you. What I feel like the subject comes up often, especially nowadays, religion,
mhm.
would you say this is like a religious book or is it more of a spiritual book? What's
Um,
your take on it?
I mean, spiritual could be like New Age, it could be Buddhism, Islam, or whatever. But me personally, I'm personally Christian, so I definitely speak from a Christian standpoint. But I give readers practical, practical standpoint and views, and as well as Christian views and standpoints, if that makes sense. So the
Mm,
beginning of the book is full of practical views and standpoints, but as we dive deeper, I get more into the Christian standpoint. But it's a balance. But if you're, like I said, it like when you ask, is it spiritual, but it's more, it's Christian because that's what I represent. So there's no confusion in between there, if that makes sense.
it does. It does.
Good.
Perfect. For those struggling with religion that might be straying from God, from that
Mhm.
partnership with Him, what? Okay, I'll give you like an example. There's a lot of people out there that I find that struggle with their relationship with God because they're going through really trying times. Things in their life just, just one thing after another. It could be losing a loved one, a house getting
Mhm.
foreclosed on them, they're
Mhm.
getting evicted from their apartment, and they blame God, or they just say,
Mhm.
I don't believe, God's there, or and if he is, he just doesn't love me. What what would you say to that person?
Yeah, that is an amazing question. I'm so happy that you brought that up. Well, number one, I want people to understand this, right? We all face hard times, but that is the time to draw nearer to God. That is the least and the worst time to separate yourself from your Heavenly Father who created you, right? He has a great plan for you. And so we're all going to face trials, tribulations, and circumstances, but he promises to take care of you. He's promises to keep you. And if you draw near to him, he's going to make sure whatever that circumstance is going to work out together for your good. Whether, like you said, you go through financial issues, that's why you need to partner with God because he's going to walk you through that circumstance. He's going to talk you through it and help your life to align to where you won't have to go through that. And sometimes we go through things in life, like we all go through things in life. It's part of our testimony. It's not to keep us stuck, it's not to keep us stagnant, but it's just for a season. When you lose loved ones, that's where if you going through grief, that's when you really should partner with God because he's going to carry you through that loss. He's going to carry you through that. And before you know it, if you give it over to him, he's the one that's going to also cause you to, you know, um, build you up stronger so that you can sustain the trials and the tribulations of life. Like that's where you need to run to. That is your turning point to, you know, run to him. Don't run from him, run to him.
Yes. All right. I love that.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful response. I see oftentimes there's like live sessions on social media where it's somebody saying, I don't believe in God, prove me wrong, or vice versa, right? And there's always these spaces where people talk freely about it. And it always goes back to that, I'm going through this really hard time right now. I don't I don't believe in him anymore because of it. And it's a shame because I do feel like a lot of us go through hard times. Hard times define us, define our character. That's when that character really shines through, I believe. And yeah, I think you're right. I think running from it isn't the answer. That's when you really need to stay true to who you are and your faith.
I went through exactly what you said. I talk about it in the book. It's so funny you brought it up. I went through a difficult, extreme. So I didn't go through just one bad season. I went through seasons where God was truly testing my faith, testing, and I believe for me to put it in there for readers to understand the way that he works, right? I was in a season where I was working multiple shows at one time because I worked in Hollywood, right? And this is to answer your question, but to give you direct experience. So I'm going through this bad season where it wasn't bad, but it ended up getting bad because I was on hiatus from my show for longer than expected. And then it's like, well, how am I going to make ends meet at this time? And so I remember finding myself whenever I would go through hard periods where I would just get like what people would do. Like, I'm like, why would he allow this to happen to me? Like, why me? And God showed me. So instead of me acting the way that I normally did, not only did he come through, I talk about in the book the way he delivered me, but he literally delivered me, blessed me. I mean, when I tell you I thought my life was going to go under, no, he literally lifted me up. It's a complete testimony. It's one of the things I'll never forget. You got to get the book to see what he did for me. But let me just tell you, it was better than it was before. I mean, in a complete abundance and in overflow. And it was like it. what it requires is trust and faith. God will not let you go, but don't listen to the thoughts, right? Because there's an adversary that wants to whisper into your ears, God is not going to take care of you. God is not going to keep you. Oh, you're going to crumble. You're going to go under, but that is the least thing that's going to happen. And that's why he requires our faith. You have to have faith and you have to stand strong, because right when you least expect it, when you have faith, God will rescue you. He will definitely rescue you. And I'm living proof that I've seen it. And I've seen it time after time after time.
I love that.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I love that you speak from experience, especially and you put it in your book. I won't
Yes.
talk about it now so that
Yeah.
all of you watching this, you got to go buy the book.
You got to get the book to see. I mean, when I tell you he delivered, he delivered. He definitely did.
Awesome. That's amazing. I love that. So what what's a like the main takeaway that you hope your readers uh bring with them after reading the book? Let me repeat that question. That was an awful way to say that. What's something you want your readers to take away after reading your book?
Yes, definitely. I have like notes of a few things, so that's why I'm like, let me get my notes because I have a bunch. But a few of the things I want them to get is practical tools for hearing God's voice, the courage to let go of control and step into true faith, a deeper understanding that destiny unfolds with God, not apart from Him. And literally, I took down a lot of notes because I didn't know exactly how the questions would come, but that was one of the questions that I definitely want people to understand they will take away from getting this book for sure.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I'm really
Mhm.
excited about this book. And just so you all know, it is going to be released November 11th, 11
Mhm.
11. Angel
11, yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'll be on the lookout for it. Is there a way that we can pre-order, or is there
Um,
a way we can buy it?
Yes, so it will be available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and then pretty much anywhere where books are available online. I actually, if people will keep up with me at Lakithia Nicole on all social media platforms, I'm going to be releasing those links, and then it's also the book will be available on West Bow Press, which is my publishing team, and they're going to have the book there as well. But yeah, you can get it in hard copy and soft copy, available everywhere, 11/11/25, as he said.
Awesome. I'm gonna get the hard copy and I'm gonna take a picture with it, send it to you.
Oh my
See,
God.
a support. I'm
Oh,
looking forward to it.
I definitely think you're going to love it. And feel like people are gonna walk away too with a greater revelation of God, because so many people have these questions like what you're asking. And I feel like, no, not because it's me, but what better person that took, time, like you said, my own experience. I really talk from my own perspective in this book, and then from people around me, so you're getting multiple perspectives, right, of just the goodness of God, the mercy of God. And I have to just say it before I leave, you have to partner with God. Literally, that's the greatest partnership you will ever have in your life. And I know we have relationships and we have husbands and wives and we have children and all business partners, but your number one greatest partnership is when you partner with God.
Love it. Love it. Um, Beyond the book, what's next for you? More writing, speaking engagements, tours around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, yeah. So as you guys know, so I'm a recording artist and actress. I have a series coming out. I'm not sure exactly when. We just did the screening in Atlanta in July. And so hopefully that series is called Love and Larceny. And hopefully that will be releasing soon on Hulu and Tubi is what I'm hearing. But hopefully that will be releasing soon. I'm currently filming a movie right now. And so I'm training, I'm learning martial arts. So that's just like a takeaway for the film. Yeah. So, and then behind outside of that, out of writing, I'm moving more so in the field of tech. And so I'm working on some projects there that I'm extremely proud of right now.
That's amazing. That is
Yeah.
really cool. Well,
Thank
congratulations
you.
on that. I'm gonna have to go look a little bit more into it. I'd love to listen to
Mhm.
your music and maybe we could spar sometime. I'm not really good at martial arts, but I could try.
Me either. I'm learning right now. Literally, it's an experience for me for sure.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yes.
Lakithia, is there anything else that you'd like to mention or any shout outs?
Shout out to God for just carrying me and for just literally taking me on this journey of transition and becoming my best self. And I am my happiest. I literally have to say that just from, partnering with him. And listen, I will have to tell the people that will get purchase this book, you're gonna feel this and more, after you complete this book. Oh, and look forward to the devotional journal that will follow after the book releases of the power of partnering with God, something to help you go through a 30-month to walk that walk, so that you can get consistent and things like that. So it's a devotional journal that's coming soon.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, Lakithia, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future and reading this book for myself.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Neek the Invoice checking in live and direct from SongLab Live. If you are an artist and you would like to share your story, hit us up in the DM. We have everything that you need here, full production. And you know what we do? We are helping artists fill the gaps with collaboration and education.